Today we're going to be focusing on shoulders and chest workout. We're going to start off with just a nice light movement. We're going to do some light dumbbell lateral raises just to get the blood flowing, get the muscles moving, and just get everything kind of ready to prime for a nice heavy workout. So grab a nice easy weight. For me it's only just 15 pounds. And then what we're going to do is about 8 to 12 reps, slow, controlled, and just nice and easy. Just trying to get blood flowing, like I said, get the muscles working, and just get everything ready and primed for a good heavy lifting session. So now that we finished our first warm-up movement, we're going to move into a single arm overhead dumbbell press. With this, we're going to start with one warm-up set, followed by 3 or 4 working sets of about 6 to 8 reps. Now with this, a couple of keys. 1, make sure that your feet are planted about shoulder width apart so that you're nice and firmly on the ground. And 2, when you're coming up, start right here. So you want to keep nice straight forearm as much as possible throughout the entire range of motion and avoid leaning away from the dumbbell. It's going to put your back in a vulnerable position. Stay nice and straight, keep your core strong, press straight overhead, squeeze, and then nice and slow back to the starting position. Don't forget to breathe. Then switch sides. So that's our warm-up set done. 3 or 4 more working sets, then we'll move to our next exercise. Alright, after that, next exercise we're going to be doing are lying face pulls. So with this, find yourself a cable machine, place it about 3/4 of the way up, and you can either grab a mat or you can just lay straight on the ground, but we're going to grab a cable. And what we're going to do, basically it's exactly what it sounds like. You're going to lay down on the ground. If you need to use your feet, brace them against the cable machine. From here, let your shoulders roll forward. Keep your head, shoulders, and butt against the ground so you're staying nice and steady. And then you're just going to be pulling in, same thing you would do if you're doing a standard cable face pull. Back, nice and slow. Stretch your shoulders as you come forward. And squeeze as hard as you can when you come back. Really focus on keeping all 3 points of contact with the ground. Butt, shoulders, and your head. Nice and steady. As always, don't forget to breathe. And we're going to be doing 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Really control the weight throughout the entire range of motion. And this is really going to help hit your rear delts.
How many?
12 to 15. So notice how her butt, her shoulders, and her head are staying in contact with the ground as much as possible. She's pulling the cables in just below her chin and really squeezing those rear delts. So as she comes up, she's letting her shoulders stretch forward so that she gets a nice range of motion, and then squeezing and pausing at the top. Now that we finished that movement, the next one we're going to be doing is a bent over rear delt fly. So with this, again, keep the weight fairly light so that you can control it throughout the entire range of motion. Keep your lower back straight as you bend over. You want to keep your chin tucked as much as possible so that you keep a nice neutral spine position. Then next, instead of coming straight out like a lot of people do, we're going to pull from our pinkies and come back at about a 45-degree angle. What that's going to do is it's going to allow us to better contract our rear delts rather than hitting our traps. Squeeze and pause at the top if possible, and nice and slow back to the bottom. And we're going to do about 8 to 12 reps. Notice how she's coming out at about a 45-degree angle, pulling back, squeezing her rear delts, and not hitting her traps. Good. Squeeze from your pinkies. Nice. Next movement, what we're going to be doing is either a dumbbell or a kettlebell front raise. Now with this, what it sounds like is you're going to be using 2 dumbbells, front raising 2 kettlebells. No. What we're going to do is I've got a dumbbell and a kettlebell here. I'm going to demonstrate. So, grab the kettlebell in front of yourself, nice wide stance, and instead of coming and like bending forward, using a lot of momentum, we're going to bend our legs. So we use a little bit just to start the movement, pause, back down. Really focus on keeping your back as straight as possible and going through the movement nice and slow. Really trying to hit those front delts. So that's with the kettlebell. Now with the dumbbell, stand it upright, grab the edges right here, and we're gonna do the same thing. Up, down. Nice, controlled movement, keeping our back as straight as possible. About 8 to 10 reps. Really focusing on hitting those front delts and keeping our back, like I said, as straight as possible to help prevent injury. So notice she's going through the movement very slow, precise, and controlled, keeping her back as straight as possible, and she's not using a whole lot of momentum. This is really helping to isolate the front delts and control the movement so that you get maximal muscle contraction. Good. 12 to 15 followed by 5 push-ups. So now for our next exercise, what we're going to be doing is dumbbell lateral raises, and we're going to be doing 12 to 15 reps for 4 sets, but at the end of each set, we're going to be doing 5 forced reps. So as you'll see here in a second, once she hits 12 to 15 reps, she's going to put the weights down, and then I'm going to come in and assist, and she's going to focus on the negative portion of the rep. With these, really focus on squeezing your outer delts and pulling your elbows up first. So here we go, you ready? 5 reps. 1, 2, force it. 3, resist. 4, one more. Good. And avoid scratching her with Velcro. All right, my turn. 15 reps, really focusing on controlling the weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright. 1. Grab a little further out. 2. Wait, let me get up first. There you go. Come on. One more.
It helps when you're heavier than the person you're trying to push down. It doesn't work.
Assistant is going to be demonstrating our next exercise. We're going to be doing rope slams. Alternate to start for 15 seconds. Again, keep your back as straight as possible. Then she's going to move into overhead slams for 10 reps. Again, try to keep your back as straight as possible. Really slam those ropes down. Nice. Hopefully you guys can hear me during that. Now, our first chest movement is going to be an incline barbell bench press. With this, a few things to keep in mind. First, ensure your feet are firmly planted on the ground. Second, keep your back nice and arched. And third, as you're about to press, ensure that your shoulders are pressed firmly into the bench. We're going to perform 8 to 10 reps, 3 to 4 sets. So from here, feet are planted, back is arched, shoulders firmly pressed into the pad. Nice and slow down, touch my chest and pause, drive up. Next chest exercise is going to be a TRX fly. With this, if you don't have a TRX system, you can alternate it for a cable fly, but the purpose of this is going to be to target our lower chest. So you're going to come in here, really be careful, especially if you're not wearing long sleeves, because the TRX can scratch up your arms pretty bad. You're just going to come down as far as you can in a flying movement, and squeeze back up, and pull your pinkies together as much as possible. I personally prefer to do a TRX later in my exercises or later in my workout because it uses body weight, so you can really hit failure with this movement. And as you start to fail, if it gets harder, take a step up and perform the movement at a little lower angle.
You're the solution. You are the solution.
Now our final chest exercise is going to be standard push-ups. With this, we're going to be doing something a little different than what you might be used to. We're going to go for as many push-ups as possible. Rest for however many push-ups you got in terms of seconds. So if I got 30 push-ups, I'm going to rest for 30 seconds and then repeat the process until we get to complete failure.
You are
20 push-ups, resting for 20 seconds, then I can go again, and repeat that process until I can't do anymore.
And that's gonna be the workout.